My name is Benjamin Adebayo. Olorungbemi is my name. And today, I want to say a big shout out to my father because today is his birthday. Today, May 15th, 2026, is my dad's 78th birthday. 7-8. And I'm really grateful to God for the gift of life, for how much He's kept my father, how much He's preserved him. I want to say thank you, God. I'm really grateful for everything that He has done for and through my father. So, Daddy, mo gbà ní àdúrà pé ìgbà ọdún kan ni fún yín, sir. I wish you long life and prosperity, and I pray for manifestation of all the amazing things that I have in mind towards you. I pray that heaven grant the manifestation. Although today is my last birthday, this video is really not about him, and at the same time, it's going to be about him. The moral of this video is for you watching me, particularly my future son and daughter. Yes, that is, if at all there'll be anything like that, if at all you ever get to see this video, okay? This is supposed to be an archive for the future. So, I'm making this video at a time when the world is at its highest low in terms of moral sanctity. I'm making this video at a time when you could hardly tell or differentiate between what is good and what is bad. I'm making this video at a time when the people who are supposed to be the custodian of morality have become ambassadors of what is evil, have become ambassadors of immorality. I'm making this video at a time when most parents have failed in the parental responsibilities. I'm making this video at a time when children have failed being good children. I'm making this at a time when there is chaos in the land, when parents who are supposed to protect the interest of other parents have become the chief promoter of the killings of other people's children. I'm making this video at a time when some parents who have become leaders, ultimate leaders in the society, and I'm talking with specific regard to the Nigerian society, when parents who have risen to the position of authority have failed in defending the right of other children. I'm making this video at a time when all the children from other parents, have been so emboldened to take the life or the lives of other children. I'm making this video at a time when the society has been really messed up with. At a time when on the street you have bandits, you have terrorists go up and about, killing people, innocent lives, taking innocent lives. I'm making this video at a time when people's children who made it into the military would receive orders at will from their superiors to take lives of protesters. I'm making it at a time when somebody's father, who made it to be the ultimate leader in this country, Nigeria, has failed completely in helping. That is primary responsibilities of making sure that all the other leaders at the state level, at the national level, provide for the needs of the people. Making it at a time when Nigeria is really, 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 really bad. Economically, politically, just name any sphere of life. So I'm making this video at a time when the past will always be better than the present. I'm making this video at a time when there is almost no hope for the future. I'm making this video at a time when religious institutions, they're supposed to be the moral police for the society, have become an altar of corruption, have become an altar that defiles moral sanctity, have become an altar that defies piousness, have become an altar where deceit, I'm making this at a time when religious institutions that are supposed to be the ones holding government to other people accountable have become the frontliners in, exploiting the masses, gaslighting people. This is a time when We have been so disoriented as a people. We live at a time where legacy has become so defined around materialistic tendencies. Making it at a time when the system has crumbled, the family system, the parenting system, everything altogether. It's almost like everybody is in a circle, doing the same thing. It would have been good. It would have been good if it's the same good, but it's actually the same evil. But amidst all of this, there is one man in his dark corner, in his little corner, making impact. And that is my father. So here are two lessons you can pick from my dad's lifestyle. So basically, this video is about upholding integrity. This video is about celebrating the legacy of my father, your grandfather, if I told you anything like that. Is to celebrate, this legacy of an individual that, irrespective and regardless of the things around him, the evils around him, the corruption around him, the irregularities around him, the killings around him, he's doing all that he could to maintain piety, rectitude. And I'm talking about my father, Gabriel Ojo Adebayo. So this video is about two lessons that you, my son and daughter, future son and daughter, that you watching, that the world can take a leaf from my dad's life, that can make the world or you watching better. So I tell you the story. My dad was a minister of God. I'm using was because he's retired. Retired in 2021, just 5 years after now. Just 5 years after. Throughout his time in service, especially when he was transferred to be in charge of a church, throughout this time, my father would so much humble himself, to ask instructions, to take suggestions from almost everybody, whether you were young, whether you were big, whether you were, he was just so receptive to the ideas of others. It was all about what will better the lives of the people he was leading. That's not the interesting part. On Saturdays before, while he was preparing his sermon for, Sunday service, my father was going to sit me down, ask me questions about what I thought on the things he was going to teach. And after Sunday service, he was going to sit me back in the room to ask me questions, he was going to ask my opinion. He was going to ask me to assess his performance in the church during the service. What were the things he said that he shouldn't have said? What were the areas that needed improvement? That was all about my father. That was what my father did. He was always willing to see himself in the reflection of what people saw and the reflections of what would work, how it was going to be better. He never wanted to be perceived as a tyrant, as someone who would see himself as over and above. My father never lived like that. He was always willing to take instructions, to take corrections. And there were many times when I had been so emboldened, to tell my dad that, Dad, you're right to it some people and there were other decisions, that my father would have loved to take, maybe outside of church matters, that would consult our opinions, and at the end of the day, I would see him bending, tilting towards my own side of reasoning. That is one lesson that I found missing today in almost every sphere of life. Talk about politics, talk about the church organization today. I'm not talking about our church organization, the church where my dad ministered. I'm just talking about, the church organization, the body of Christ, as it were. You can imagine if every family, if every leader, takes this leap from my dad's legacy, from his life, and you have people complain about you, maybe as the president, as a governor, as a councillor, as a chairman of a local government, and that people complain about you. And you have kids, you have children, grown up children, or maybe kids that you've taught, to listen, to have listening ears to the yearnings, to the cries, to the to the plight of the people. You can imagine if you have someone like my father in this bigger position, what would you think would have happened? Someone like me would have called him out in the public. Someone like me would have sat him down to say, Dad, we can't keep pretending as if these things aren't happening. My dad's going to be the president of the country or the governor of a state, and then you wouldn't have jobs. And then my dad will come to the national TV to tell lies before the people. That will not happen because he has taught me to call out what is evil. He has taught me to call him out each time or whenever there's the temptation to do what is not right. So, you watching, if you're a parent, do you have the strength in you? Have you empowered your children to also be able to look you in the face and say, Dad, this is wrong? If every family could come to this alignment or can come to this alignment, I believe that our country will be a better place. The world will be a better place. Because come to think of it, how will I, as I am, be party to defrauding people? And my father, and I will take the same process to my father, and my father won't ask me how I got the money, and he eventually knows how the money came about. Do you think my father will take the money from me? If every parent can be that careful, you know, in in the raising of the kids, in every leadership position that they find themselves, either as a pastor, as a banker, as a police officer, if everyone can be this careful, I believe that the world will be a better place. But is that the case today? No. Why? There are no parents, no fathers, no mothers like my father. No brothers, no sons, no daughters like my father. Because I've seen up close, people's parents. I've seen some, I don't have to, but I'll be very careful sometimes, I'll be very diplomatic with all of this. I've seen people up close. And it's almost as if a lot of parents aren't worthy of being called parents. Many pastors that I know up close aren't different from fraudsters, aren't, aren't. And everybody complains today. The weather this and that. Watch them. Watch what the kids are about. Watch what they are about. They are young pastors right now. Look at the president. Look at the governors. You know, you see children strengthening. You look at Xi Jinping, for example, the president, son of the president. He hears what people are saying about his father. Yet, he's open about the country, going everywhere to campaign for his father, someone whom the world does not want, someone whom the society does not want. The child is become a beneficiary of poor parenting system. Because I'm sure if his father were like my father, they both would have retired to the rooms, covered up the face in shame, and say, man, Dad, you have failed. We need to go. If all of the yes men, the Hallelujah boys following Mr. President, the Hallelujah boys, the Hallelujah pastors in churches, who are subservient, always looking for what, I don't want to call them the sycophants everywhere. If this sycophant, this yes men, were raised by good parents like my father, trust me, we wouldn't have yes men everywhere today. If these men in the military, the police, the soldiers, the navy, who today would take instructions from the superiors to go to the street and raise straight bullets on innocent lives. If they were raised by a parent like my father, trust me, Nigeria wouldn't have descended to a community, to a state of chaos today, as it is today. Because nobody today can speak to my mind, to my conscience, or buy my conscience with some stack of dollars to say, go kill these people, go tell lies on national TV. That wouldn't have happened because it can't even happen. My father has taught me to know what is good, to know what is right, to know what is wrong from what is not right. You know, from what is right. Beg your pardon. So um, that's the first legacy that I'm convinced the world, you watching, should learn from my father to become a better person or to make the world a better place. Finally, my father is a man of integrity, is a man of admirable rectitude. Rectitude, you know, he's very contented with the little he has. I'm not talking about, yeah, very contented with everything he has. My father never defrauded any member of his congregation. He never told lies to anyone. He never gave false prophecies just to make money from them. And I'm talking, things were very difficult for us. I mean, financially, things were difficult. I struggled throughout the university. I struggled, but we never, you know, people promised him all kinds of things, landed properties, this and that. He didn't, even up until the time he retired in 2021. We have this late deaconess in the church, of blessed memory, a very good woman. She promised him, an apartment where he was going to live, to live in, but he declined. My dad wants a space where he wouldn't feel boxed to the corner to say what is wrong, to call out people when they do what is wrong. My father, Gabriel Ojuadebayo, is that man. And that is who I want to be like. That is who I want to be. If you're, I've been in different church settings before, and I've seen the relics of corruption, in everyone, resident, in almost everyone. So everybody lives on the altar of deception. And I think the world would be a better place if only we can embrace these two qualities of rectitude and the humility to 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 accepting, the opinions of others, especially when we're wrong, and then to make ourselves better. These are two very important lessons the world can take from my father. Although I might sound a little, not, or maybe very much uncoordinated in what putting these thoughts together, and that's because this is spontaneous. It's not premeditated. It's just about the naturalness of who my dad is. A very good man. And that's how much, and that's what I'm celebrating in him. I'm not celebrating him because he's brain old, but because of the qualities, the virtues is left, is displayed and is instilled in me. Thank you, Daddy, for being a good son to your father. Thank you for being a good son to your mother. Thank you for being a good son for being a good family member, a good father, most importantly. Yes, and a good human being. Thank you everyone for watching. I prepared it to my father, wishing him long life and prosperity and the manifestation of all the good things that I have in mind towards him. Keep living right, live life as much as you could. Live for legacy and not for self-gratification or, thank you for watching. And to my future son, to my future daughter, if that chance happens to happen, you have to borrow leave from my father. And you know where I'm coming from now. However way I'm gonna raise you, make sure you, first of all, you're a human being with contentment, with integrity, who never loses self over other people, who listens to other people, to first be human being, before being anything. See you next time.
Yeah, for the best dad. Come on, put your hands up. Dad is a day today. We give thanks to God for the gift of life. Join me, everybody. I just celebrate the best dad in the world. I just praise God for the best dad in the world. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Ooh, ooh. For the best dad in the world. For the best dad. Put your hands up for the best dad. Put your hands up for the best dad. And the better and for the dad in the world. For the one that got me brilliant in the world. The one that got me really just to be who I am. For the one that give me life, they can be who I am. Put your hands up for the best dad. Till there is a day I know. What more can I give to you ain't no bad. What I gonna show you what you all bastard. Put your hand up, ooh, dad. Put your hands up for the best dad in the world. Sometimes I know I was down. You brought me up with your words, and I know you're the reason why I know. I'm still growing now, I don't know. I never know what the best side. You're the reason why I got a best side. Put your hands up for the old dad. I feel by the hand I'm singing in the old line. Till the he's a day in my five. My sister in the world, but too young. Best dad in the world. Nothing much we can give out an old dad love. I can got it in the studio just about old dad. Gonna drink everywhere we go, I got it to laugh. You alive, it's my life. You will tell me I can live my life. Everything I am that day I owed it to you. After God, you're the one for me. After God, you're the one for me. You told me that her life, I know that. Put your hands up for the best of God. You're the best dad in the world. I remember how you bet you put me on trial. I bet you when I ain't got nobody out there. I never thought I could have made nobody. You're the best dad, and I know that. You give me everything, I got no doubt. You're my everything, you're my all. You're the first love, and oh God. Ooh, God, please have you. Ooh, pray God keep you. I pray God will be your strength forever.
Love you, Daddy.
Join me, everybody. Jesus,
Love you,
the best dad in the
Daddy.
world.
Long life and prosperity.
Happy birthday, Daddy.
It's the freestyling. It's your boy Prolific Band.
Damn, Vescio.
Yeah.
Where'd you find this?
Come on, everybody. Come on, everybody, would you come around? Come on, everybody, would you make a sound? Come on, everybody, would you shout it loud? Prices move around and it's touching lives. Come on, everybody, let us make a sound. Come on, everybody, let us shout it loud. Come on, everybody, let us make a sound. Just move around and it's touching life. It's touching my life and it's touching your life and it's moving all around and it's moving this way and it's moving over there and it's moving right here. Every atmosphere and it's touching life. Jesus all around and it's touching life. He has touched my and it touches you. Jesus move around and it's touching life. Come on everybody, would you make a sound? Come on everybody, would you turn around? Jesus move around and it's turning life. Come on everybody, would you make a round? Come on everybody, would you make some sound? Come on everybody, would you make loud? Jesus move around and it's touching life. Will it touch your life and it touch my life? Jesus move around and it's touching life. And I'm looking in the sky when it's the bird, the flower in there and I know it's right. Moving all around and it's touching life. Jesus move around and it's touching life. Come on everybody, would you make it right? Come on everybody, would you make some sound? Jesus move around and it's touching life. It's touching life. It's moving around and it's shining its light. It make it bright and it make us light. Giving us life and it's touching lives. Jesus move around and it's touching lives. Come on everybody, let us shout it loud. Jesus move around and it's touching lives. Yeah, it's touching my life and you know that. Wanna touch yours too, would you leave that? Would you give him what he wants to know about that? Come on everybody, you can give your life to. Cause I give my life and no regret too. I'm gonna show him that much you got. Show him how much you like. I'm sure you can show some love. You can take your pain, you can bring it back. Whatever you want, he can give to you. Come on everybody, Jesus touching lives. Touching lives. He is touching mine. He will touch us too. Jesus touching life.